Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Master Detective Archives Reign Code. In the last episode, we finished the case behind everything to do with Chapter 2 of our story, The Silent Curtain Call, finding out the truth behind both cases, and finding out that every single big member of the theater club had a hand to play in the deaths that have happened at Ethereal Academy, Karen being solely responsible for Aiko's demise, while Raruna, Karune, and Yoshiko being responsible for Karen's. Overall, with the case now solved, we finally learned from Kurumi, who is actually Kanai Ward's last professional informant, finding out from her what she believes to be Kanai Ward's ultimate secret, being a secret project into creating an immortal monster, known as a homunculus, a form of cryptid that's normally akin to basically growing your own human-like life form, although smaller in how it's kind of in the real world, kind of how cryptids work with them. It's kind of hard to explain. It's basically like a miniature human that you can grow, is how the cryptid is basically kind of made out to be. But honestly, with that information gained, honestly, it's definitely worrying on what kind of possible evil Amaterasu and the Peacekeepers are truly creating. And on top of that, what has happened to the rest of our group, since right after we returned to Yakuo's nocturnal agency, we were completely blown out of the water by the director of the Peacekeepers, Yomi Hellsmile, completely knocking us out and awakening in an apartment-like building we've never ever seen before, with a mysterious masked man silently waiting for us to awaken just beyond the sleeping quarters. So yeah, definitely we have been left with a lot of questions with how Chapter 2 ended, because we don't know where anybody is, we don't know who this masked man is, for definitely sure, and, well, we also got a little bit of our memories back, because we saw a scratchy trying to think of the best way to say it, staticky kind of memory of the past, and the Book of Death that we know that Shinigami came from. And us hearing that only number 1 could actually go inside that area where apparently we got that book. So, it's definitely interesting. I'll definitely say that. But, we have definitely been left with a lot of questions for sure. I'll definitely have to say that. But honestly, with that being said, honestly, it's time to definitely head back into our story. And honestly, one thing I would like to do before we go straight into Chapter 3, it would be nice to at least see a little bit more of the gumshoe gabs that we haven't got to look into yet, because we still have 2 for Vivia, 2 for Fubuki, and we also have 2 for Yakou as well. So we have 6 of them, and we definitely need to do at least, maybe 2 of them at least. So honestly, because we have done 1 for Yakou, I think it's fair if we do 1 for Fubuki and 1 for Vivia, because honestly, we don't really know as much about those 2. So honestly, let's start with Fubuki first, I think, just to see what we can learn about her and see what's going on with her. Because it seems like, from what we were told, she has a really good power from Yakou, but we never were, told exactly what that was. Although, it was literally said to be, the ultimate, forte, pretty much, is basically what Yakou said. So, in we go. And hopefully we'll learn a little bit more about her from this.
This is the first time we have been alone at the agency, Yuma.
That's definitely for sure, because before that, we had no chance of ever really getting to talk to you alone, outside or inside the agency, from what we've seen in the chapters so far.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. I know, how about I make you some coffee?
Actually, does she even like coffee? Oh no, I think she was having a coffee in that Sun and Moon hotel, if I remember correctly, when we did run into her for a very short time in Chapter 1.
Or would you prefer some tea instead?
I can't pinpoint what kind of one she would like better. I actually like both myself, I'm gonna be honest.
Which is which again?
Oh, she forgot which one's which. Okay, so she probably just drinks whatever then.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
She forgot, buddy. I think we should figure that one out. Fubuki definitely is, not the smartest character, but she seems to be the nicer character, to be fair, out of, like, the agency. She definitely is, like, the nicest of the detectives, for sure, from what we've seen. So, honestly, she makes up for it, for that in that instance.
How to put this? One is dark and the other a bit pale.
Kind of.
Which is coffee and which is tea again?
Hard to explain it if you think of it like that.
What?
But Yuma's got nothing for that one. Darker one is coffee, the paler one is coffee. That was a funny joke. That is, well, coffee can be dark and light, because you put creamer in it, and tea you do that too. Unless she drinks it black, is how they say it. But the darker one is coffee?
Anyway, the darker one is coffee.
I think that's the answer there.
Oh, it is? Now that you mention it, that sounds right.
Okay, well, looks like she figured it out, I guess.
However, this is quite troubling.
Troubling?
There are far too many moments in my life where I cannot tell things apart.
Well, I'm sorry about that. But at least she notices that, because she doesn't act like she notices it from what we saw from the 2 chapters, although we never had time to really establish her character yet, to be fair, because she hasn't had her chapter yet, or at least I think she would still get her chapter, because Desuhiko and Halara got one, so I don't think that Fubuki and Vivia wouldn't get one as well, or at least I would hope so, although we don't know where we are in Chapter 3 from what we saw in the end of Chapter 2, to be fair.
Just like with coffee and tea, I cannot tell the difference between an elevator and escalator.
Really? Huh, well, both take you up and both take you down, so I guess that's fair?
Or left and right. Or the day after tomorrow and the day before yesterday.
I actually have a friend that
Differentiate many things.
I actually have a friend that actually forgets their lefts and rights, but it's actually decently common, actually, which is actually kind of interesting. But, well, honestly, I don't blame you on that one, I'm gonna be honest, just because I do know someone that is the first part, that left and right's getting mixed up.
That sounds rough.
It definitely does.
Oh, there is more.
There's more to it?
Until recently, I thought paying reparations meant you were paying a repairman.
I guess kind of, you could. If you think of it like that, I guess, if you want.
That's a new one.
Huh.
She's such an airhead. I'm surprised she's managed to survive for so long.
Yeah, based on her being a detective and all of them going through a murder mystery to survive the Chapter 0 portion of the story, I'm surprised she was able to survive. But this ultimate power must be really good if she was able to, you know, make it out of that. Because everyone went through the same thing we did during Chapter 0, but different versions of it. Because they all went through different means of transportation to get here. But, huh.
Fubuki, have your misunderstandings ever gotten you into trouble?
That's a good question.
Trouble. I suppose when all is said and done, I have managed fairly well.
That sounds good.
Oh, there was one thing.
One thing?
Really? If you don't mind, can you tell me about it?
Yeah, what happened?
Yes, of course. Back was around 10 years old.
10 years old, you say?
In the neighborhood where my mansion is located, a rumor was spreading about a high school student who could fly.
Who could fly? Huh, what are they, Peter Pan?
I hoped it was true and wished to meet him, so I went for a visit.
Huh.
However, he could not in truth fly, but was rather considered something called a flight risk.
Okay, I guess that's, one way for you to think, I guess.
At this point, it sounds like a comedy skit.
It really does, Yuma.
Oh, well, it gets worse.
It does?
He was more than a mere delinquent. People considered him an extremist.
Well, that's not good.
Upon discovering I was the daughter of the Clockford family, he kidnapped me and barricaded us away.
Yeah, he's definitely a flight risk. That could be definitely, hammered down for sure.
Barricaded?
But, huh. Wow, okay then.
Yes. He demanded the government revise the Constitution if they wished me to be returned safely.
Revise the Constitution? How would that... The government would definitely not do that, but okay then.
So, what happened after that?
Yeah, what happened, Fubuki?
It was quite a while back, so I cannot really remember.
Huh.
In the end, the laws were changed a bit, and I was released.
Really? Well, okay. Well, she got... Apparently the government ended up changing some laws in order to get her released, apparently. Huh. Okay, then.
The laws were... what?
That's definitely a strange story.
It makes sense a master detective, or rather a member of the Clockford family, would have such ridiculous stories.
She's also an adventurer, from what we were told too, to be fair. So... Well, I guess that would change things a little bit too, I guess, since they're an important figure of sorts.
Being unable to tell coffee and tea apart should have been the least of my worries.
No, fair enough.
Master, you and Fubuki seem to have grown closer.
Although I have a lot more questions about Fubuki now, to be fair, based on what we just heard. Huh. Interesting. I kind of want to do Fubuki's second one now instead of doing Vivia's now, just because of how that worked. Because I want to do 2 for sure before we get into Chapter 3. So, let's look into her second one now, because I'm kind of curious about that. Because that was, I kind of want to know more about this Clockford family. And maybe at least a little bit more about Fubuki in a way that we can understand how she actually solves cases and stuff. Because she's definitely a interesting character.
Thank you for keeping me company today.
No problem.
Because of you, Yuma, I have experienced takoyaki for the very first time.
Really?
Oh, it's nothing.
To be honest, I've never had it myself, but I do remember what takoyaki is because, well, 1, it's in a lot of games, and 2, well, honestly, they had a big thing in Persona 5 about that, so I'm gonna be honest, I definitely remember what it is. But, interesting though, I'm surprised she hasn't, with her being from a rich family and stuff like that, so you think that she would travel more often.
I'm surprised you wanted to try some in the first place.
Oh? Why is that surprising?
I'm surprised Yuma thought that. To be fair, she seems like she tries anything.
Could it be that my face resembles takoyaki, so you believe I am a cannibal?
No! I don't know how you even came to that conclusion, but okay then.
That's not at all what I'm saying. You don't look anything like takoyaki anyway.
Yeah, you don't look like a... Honestly, it looks like it's like a fried dough, kind of like a fried dough ball, kind of how I see what it looks like with stuff inside it. But yeah, you don't look like you've been fried in a deep fryer.
It's just that you grew up like a princess. You even got kidnapped because of it.
Yeah, she definitely did say that.
That's why I didn't expect you to want to try takoyaki.
Really? I don't know, I think people traveling in royalty try out stuff all the time. But interesting way to think of it, Yuma.
Ah, so that is what you meant. But I am not as high class as you might think. My daily life is rather ordinary.
I can see that based on how you conduct yourself. She definitely seems to still run quite an ordinary life, from the fact that she's a master detective / adventurer, stuff like that. It seems like she would, you know, do normal things on top of just being quote-unquote royalty, as they basically said in the beginning when we first met her.
I sincerely doubt it.
Really?
Is that so? It truly felt plain to my eyes.
Well then, can I ask you a few questions?
What do you got, Yuma?
It helped me get an idea of what it was like for you growing up.
Well, fair enough, okay.
Very well, if that is what is required to satisfy you.
But what kind of question do you got, Yuma?
You can ask me anything, including my measurements or the password to my bank account.
I don't need either of those two, but I'm okay then.
No, I don't need to ask about those.
But bank account information is not something you should lightly give. But, okay then.
Anyway, to start off, how many rooms did your home have?
I would say at least 10. It's a mansion. She literally said it was a mansion.
How many rooms? I never really considered it. First the kitchens. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5...
5 kitchens? What the? Okay, she lives in a really, really big mansion then. I was thinking like normal size mansion maybe, but okay then, her family's really, really rich then. Well, that blew the water quite, blew Yuma quite out of the water. Just like chapter 2.
I am beginning to grow confused. My apologies. I am not very good at counting such large numbers.
I'm sorry about that, but okay.
No, that's more than enough for me.
Yeah, Yuma, I think we got got our information about the mansion now, I think.
There's really no point in asking any more questions, but this is getting kinda fun.
Yeah, it is pretty fun to kind of find out a little bit more about her.
Next up, what sort of car did your parents own?
I don't think she knows that information, based on how we know how she is, earlier. I don't think she'll remember the brand or any of the naming of the car.
Their car? Unfortunately, there were no cars at our home.
Really?
Huh? That's hard to believe.
That's interesting. Huh, not a single car.
Do you know what cars are? They have 4 wheels and move on roads.
No, she said specifically said there was no cars.
Yes, I have seen them around the city.
Yeah, I think she would know at least what a car is. But, no cars. Maybe she's got a private jet, you never know. Could be, I guess that could be a way, but you can't really land a private jet anywhere. But I guess maybe she wouldn't need one. Because they could, I guess, call... I would think Ubers would still exist in some way, shape or form, or Lyft, or whatever kind of, like, you know, taxi service of sorts. So, I guess they just don't have a use for one.
But none of those tiny, cute mobile huts were anywhere near my home.
Huh.
Mobile huts?
Interesting way to think of them.
I'm guessing the cars at Fubuki's place are on a completely different scale.
Maybe.
Okay, last one.
Okay, Yuma, what's your last one?
What's the most expensive gift you've ever received?
That's actually a good question, but I don't think, she's gonna say it in the same way that I think, Yuma thinks she's gonna say it. Probably more in a, personal way of thinking than a actual money gift, I think.
A gift? Well, I am unsure how expensive it was, but the one that made me happiest was when I went with my family to look at the stars.
See, like I thought. I felt like that would be more closely oriented to her character. So, she well, doesn't really care about money, it looks like. Well, that's good. Because, honestly, that's actually made her character much more likable, her saying she liked to see the stars instead. Huh. That's good.
Huh? Stars?
Sounds pretty expensive to me, honestly. Some time with your family is always pretty nice.
On my birthday, my father told me a star would shine especially bright.
What star was that?
I watched it with my mother and father. That time spent together was the greatest gift I have ever received.
Could have been the North Star. It's possible.
My parents are such busy people. I rarely saw them as a child.
Would make sense with them being on the higher class. That means they would have to work quite a lot.
Oh? Is something wrong?
I don't think Yuma has anything else to ask, I think.
After asking so many petty questions, I feel real ashamed of myself.
Well, she definitely didn't stick me as a goody two-shoes or any of that, to be fair. I just felt like she was, pretty ordinary and pretty likable. And like I said, I felt like she was the nicest out of all of them, so I'm surprised he thought of her as such, honestly.
Even if you are rich, you're still you.
Which is true.
I am myself? That is true, I suppose.
She doesn't understand the meaning.
But Yuma, what sort of person do you think I am?
Pretty nice. That's my best way of saying it.
What do I think of Fubuki?
Yeah, what do you think, Yuma?
Well, that's simple.
It is. Ditzy, rich, honest. I think she's pretty honest.
You're honest. You may be rich and ditzy, among other things.
He ended up just saying all three then.
But the foundation of who you are is your honesty.
Which is pretty fair, honestly.
Well, I am not sure I would say I am honest myself, but it makes me happy to hear you say it.
No problem, Fubuki.
You're honest. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said the time spent stargazing with your parents was your favorite gift.
Which is true, to be fair.
Oh, that reminds me. After we looked at the star, my father purchased it for me.
Probably not the smartest gift, but, honestly, fair enough.
I am unsure how expensive that may have been, but I am certain that is the biggest gift I have ever received.
The biggest scam in the world, buying a star. Not the smartest gift whatsoever from her father, but okay then. It's a thought that counts, I guess.
Considering how honestly surprised I am by all this,
Huh.
I must have been a lowly commoner before losing my memories.
We don't really know that information.
Master, you and Fubuki seem to have grown even closer.
Definitely on that one, that's for sure. I've definitely grown to appreciate her character a little bit more because of these. Because we really didn't know much about Fubuki. We just knew that she was, kind of, airheaded, to be honest. So getting that kind of closer look into her was definitely good to do, for sure. But, like I said, I only wanted to do 2 of those for Gumshoe Gabs, and we ended up doing 2 Fubukis instead of the Vivia one. But honestly, I think it's time to definitely get back into, well, our story here and see what's going on with Chapter 3. So with that being said, let's continue. We get straight into the meat and potatoes of everything. Since, let's be honest here, I am very concerned about how Chapter 2 ended. And then, I guess how Chapter 3 is going to start because of the fact that Masked Man definitely scared me a little bit, in a way. Although, the reason is because it's literally got a giant eye in the middle of the mask.
Someone's dream on the street corner.
Peacekeepers.
An unrealized ideal is shattered. Like tears flooding the city.
Interesting.
No one can be saved this way. Someone whispers as they drown in a melted dream.
Okay, then. Chapter 3, No Longer a Detective. Really? No longer a detective, you say? Oh, there he is.
That was quite refreshing. A bath is like a fleeting dream.
If you say so, Mr. Masked Man.
Your sweat and past are washed away. You're born anew.
Born anew?
Would you like to join me next time?
Who even are you?
No, thanks.
Yeah, Yuma, I think that was probably a good thing to say. In this case, we have no clue who this guy is.
Oh, if you're embarrassed about taking off your clothes, you can hop in with them on.
Oh, you're talking about... Because when we left, he was in the bath, to be fair. Huh.
I do that once every 3 times anyway.
Who
are you?
Yeah, who even are you? And did you save us?
Oh? If you want to know who I am, does that mean you wish to be friends with me?
Maybe, if you're a good guy. But we have no clue who you are.
Friends?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we could say yes or no to that one.
Yes, I want to be your friend. How about you?
Unsure. 'Cause, I don't know, why are you wearing a mask? That makes you kind of mysterious in a lot of ways. And honestly, it makes me feel like we're, like, in a very, very bad situation. Because of everything we've seen in this game, he seems like somebody that might actually do something to us if, we're not careful. Just because of what we saw in Chapter 0, 1, and 2, with murder mysteries. We don't know if he's a killer or not. We don't know. Because, although he seemingly saved us, oh, we don't know if he did or not, to be fair. Huh.
Huh?
I think you should avoid sketchy guys like that. You're just gonna end up joining a pyramid scheme or something.
Possibly, yeah. Pyramid scheme could possibly happen.
Oh, that's right. I haven't introduced myself yet.
Yeah, please introduce yourself.
I'm sorry. It's been so long since I built personal relationships that I don't remember the procedure.
So long, you say? Really?
My name is Makoto Kagutsuchi. Nice to meet you.
Well, nice to meet you, Makoto. You seem somewhat friendly, although that mask kind of, unnerves me, to be fair.
Hi, I'm Yuma Kokohead.
Coconut Head. I still can't believe his second name, to be fair, for his, last name, but honestly, at least the Yuma part's normal. But Coconut Head's still funny to me.
Yuma.
Master, maybe you should comment on his mask. He's probably waiting for you to do that.
Yeah, can we do that?
About that mask.
Yeah, I'd like to know about the mask too, to be fair.
Oh, this? Interested?
Yeah, very much.
This is like a family heirloom to me. It has quite a history.
Really? I like how even though the mask doesn't actually move, I like how it moves in the little pictures down there.
It is said my family has demonic blood flowing through us. Normal people who gaze upon my face lose their sanity.
Oh, so you're like a Mimikyu, then. Interesting.
That's why I must keep my face hidden, or I can't even hold a normal conversation.
Fair enough, I guess, although you sound insane by saying that, but maybe Shinigami knows more about that kind of stuff.
So what is this demonic blood, you might ask? I did my own research on the matter.
Really?
It goes back 500 years. Back then, this land was comprised of over 200 kingdoms, great and small.
Oh, so during the, Nobunaga and, trying to think of the Dynasty Warrior kind of, stuff, or my only real, like, Dynasty Warriors is kind of goes into that stuff too, to be fair, but the only one that I really know more about is, although it's not based on real things with the Pokemon being involved, But Pokemon Conquest also goes into those leaders as well. But, okay, so the Dynasty Warrior era, basically. Okay, interesting. Your family goes pretty far back then. That's cool.
I think I got it now, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, are you sure?
I kind of want to know more about that, but interesting. Thank you for the information there, Makoto.
This guy's worse than I thought. Where are we anyway?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question too, Shinigami. It looks like an apartment, but honestly, it might be more of a house.
Good question. Excuse me, where are we right now?
Yeah, where are we, Makoto?
This is my home.
Well, obviously.
It's the highest point in town. The top floor of Kanai Tower.
What? Why are we here? I don't want to be here now. At all. Why are you in the tower? That's, well, technically it may not be as bad, maybe. Because Kanai Tower seems more like a rich people's haven kind of thing. But maybe not part of Amaterasu, maybe. Okay, so maybe we're fine, maybe.
The top floor of that tower?
I was kind of overthinking it for a second, but maybe it's not as bad.
You serious? He's like Stark levels rich. Hey, let's take a selfie while we're here.
I don't think Yuma has a... Yeah, we don't have a phone or a camera. We can't do that.
Why am I here?
Yeah, why are we here? Okay, so yeah, it's a little bit away from Amaterasu Corporation. Okay, that's good. That kind of saves us a little bit, to be fair.
I assumed you were playing in the river. However, it's not good to get carried away.
Oh. Thanks. That's actually really nice of you. So he just saved us because he, well, thought we weren't doing a little hot. Okay, cool.
You were lying by the riverbank in tatters. One of my men just happened to find you.
Well, thank you.
So I had you brought here. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if we just let you die.
Thanks, that's really nice of you. Okay, so he was the one, technically, that saved us. Although, his men, so whoever worked for him. But thanks, that's nice of you.
You're here from the lowest part of town to the highest. How does it feel to have traveled between heaven and hell?
Is this heaven? From how you're saying it?
Where are the others? Was anyone else there besides me?
Yeah, what about everyone else?
There was no one else.
Oh. Well, that's not good. It definitely worries me, because, everyone was in there when the submarine blew up.
I see.
Huh.
Chief Yakou, Halara, Desuhiko, Fubuki, Vivia.
And on top of all that, the intro showed somebody drowning. So, one of the detectives could have drowned during the intro there. And based on the sleeve, it could have possibly been Yakou, of all people. But it could still be whoever the victim of this chapter could possibly be too, to be fair.
I hope they're all okay.
Honestly same, but I'm not so sure, based on what I just said.
It's all my fault.
Nah, not really. That would have happened nonetheless, I think. I think Yomi would have just done it on his own without any reason not to, or to do so in general. He would have just done it.
The Peacekeepers have it out for us because I've been butting into cases, pretending to be a detective.
Nah, not really pretending. You've been doing definitely good as a detective, for sure.
If I'd followed the Chief's advice and stayed put at the agency, none of this would have ever happened.
Heavy doubt, but you didn't know Yomi was doing that, to be fair. That was in third person for everything that Yomi did. We learned that Martina got turned into a meat cube. That was pretty interesting information, because we never really fought her mystery phantom. We saw her for like half a second, really, in chapter 2. And I thought she'd show up again in another chapter where we'd actually, actually fight her mystery phantom, but nope, she disappeared after that. And, well, I don't think we'll ever see it again, because I don't know how she'd get in the middle of a case anymore, if she is indeed gone from what we saw with Yomi and the Peacekeepers there. But,
There you go, acting like some tragic heroine again.
If you say so, Shinigami.
The only people who give you any sympathy for that shtick are the possessive types drawn to the naive.
Which is you.
Just forget about it all and be positive. Say you have amnesia and reset your past.
How about... Well, I don't think that would change anything for Yuma.
After losing my memories, the Nocturnal Detective Agency was the one place where I felt like I belonged.
And if you felt like you belonged there, then you have to be a detective, buddy.
If that's gone, I don't know what to do.
I guess start over from ground zero, basically. Although, we could still be a detective. Just gotta, I guess, be on our own for now, I guess.
Hey, you're lucky to be alive. Compared to the other dead detectives, that is.
I thought you said you didn't know what happened to them because you passed out too.
They're not dead. They have to be alive somewhere.
Yeah, they have to be. I would think at least a couple of them. Although, how many of them washed up to shore, though? That's the real question. Elevator.
We have lots of visitors today.
Or probably not elevator, but for a place like this, I would think that their front door would be an elevator. Just because of the fact that, well, sometimes that is the case with towers like this, or hotels slash, you know, skyscrapers like this. Their door is literally an elevator to leave their house.
You might want to hide for now, Yuma.
Hide? Why would we want to hide?
Hide? Why?
Yeah, why?
You don't want to go play in the river again, do you?
No. Okay.
What do you mean by that?
I don't think the people coming in here in a second are going to be somebody we want to be caught by, based on what he's saying.
Master, I've got a bad feeling about this. Do as you're told and hide.
Yeah, please, Yuma. Hide as quick as possible, man.
But where am I supposed to hide?
Just go back to the room.
Where should I hide?
Let's talk to Makoto real quick.
Yeah.
Looks like we've got lots of guests today. Maybe I should order in.
Hide somewhere already!
Let's hide here. Sure. It's the only place I could see, so... Oh. Oh no.
That's the director of the Peacekeepers, Yumi Hellsmile.
Okay, well that's really not good. Why is he here?
It's rare to see you all the way up here. Maybe this means we'll get a bright and sunny day tomorrow.
Yeah, heavy doubt on that one.
Well, a damn good day to you as well, masked man.
Oh, he doesn't know his name. Or just saying that is just cause he can. Although he's not talking back to him like, other people. That's weird.
Or is trick or treat the proper way to greet a mask lover like you?
Maybe. Honestly, that is kind of funny to say to him at that point, if you think of it like that.
So what brings you here? If it's a treat you're looking for, I have some homemade cookies.
Unfortunately, I only accept tricks.
I could see that.
I heard a rumor that you're hiding a detective. That couldn't be true, could it?
Definitely not.
Detective? Whatever do you mean?
You think you can hide your expression behind a mask? You're as creepy as ever.
If Yomi thinks he's creepy, that's definitely not good information to know. Because Yomi is creepy. He is beyond creepy from what we saw in third person. So if Yomi thinks somebody's creepy, that's not a good sign for me, is it?
If you weren't in this city, by now I'd be...
By now you'd be what?
I'll be back. The Peacekeepers are always watching you.
Always watching him. Well, maybe that's a good thing then if he's disturbed by him, because it looks like technically he would be opposed to them, right? If they're keeping a very close eye on this guy. Really? Well, off he goes, I guess.
Yuma, you can come out now.
Thanks, Makoto. Although this doesn't seem like the safest place for me to be, based on the fact that Yomi is, keeping a good eye on you, it looks like. But, anything else in here we can look at? Nothing really. I can double check, but nope, nothing really stuff we can look at. We'll talk to you. What's up?
That was the director of the Peacekeepers, wasn't it? You know him?
Although it seems like they're not on a positive, you know, like, connection of sorts. Although it seems like it's somewhat friendly and somewhat, like, not. Huh.
Our relationship isn't so shallow that he's a mere acquaintance, but I wouldn't call it a friendship either.
Yeah, definitely not a friendship.
If I must call it something, I'd say he's like a shadow. We all have our own inseparable shadows, right?
Actually true. We got Shinigami, so yeah, we definitely do.
Who are you?
Yeah, who really are you?
I'm just a man living at the highest point in town. Do you need to know more than that?
I would like to know a little bit more, but I guess you're not going to give it to us based on how you kind of answered that.
That doesn't tell me anything.
It really doesn't.
You sure are honest.
Well, that is a good trait of Makoto, or, well, I almost said Makoto there, Yuma.
I love this city more than anyone. And more than anyone, I worry for its future.
Really? That's, good to know.
That's why I feel so gloomy about it all. Like the sky, a cold rain falls within my heart. By the way, I hear that you're a detective. I didn't know they still existed in this town.
Well, there was one before us, to be fair. Although, he wasn't a master detective by any means.
I'm a trainee. There are other detectives much better than me. Somewhere out there.
Yeah, somewhere. Although where? That's a good question.
Naturally, this means you have some knowledge about this place.
A little bit. We haven't been here long, though.
I suppose so, yes.
Even as we speak, a disaster strikes Kanai Ward.
A disaster, you say?
You could say Amaterasu Corporation is responsible.
Yeah, definitely. They're 100%. Although more of the Peacekeepers than anything, in my opinion, from what we've seen. We really haven't dealt with the real Amaterasu Corporation, to be fair.
For years now, the tragedies occurring in this city are the result of an upset of the power balance within Amaterasu.
That was something we were suspecting earlier, wasn't it? Yuma said something like that. There could have been some kind of power balance. Huh.
The power balance?
The company has gotten too big.
Really?
Each segment has grown increasingly independent and now lacks overall cohesion.
That's interesting.
As a result, the power structure has been completely thrown off balance. Amidst it all, the Peacekeepers took charge.
Okay, so technically the Peacekeepers do own Amaterasu then. Okay, so technically we have been dealing with Amaterasu this entire time. Although, technically not the real Amaterasu, maybe?
They've imposed strict rules within the company and eliminated anyone who refused to obey.
I could see that with how Yomi is, yeah.
The corporation was on the brink of collapse, but the Peacekeepers managed to regain order.
In their own twisted and sick way, is the best way to say it.
And I'm sure you can easily imagine what happened after that, right?
Yeah, basically, turn this into, well, an isolation, haven, pretty much. Or isolationist haven for criminals and bad guys. Huh.
That order took hold over all of Kanai Ward.
Yep. Jeez, okay then. That kinda adds up to everything from what Kurumi was saying, how it was normal not too long ago.
You're a sharp one, detective. They fly the banner of order and force laws only convenient to themselves on the people.
And, twisting that law to be able to take over things in their own right, like taking bribes from the church and stuff like that. But,
Both Amaterasu Corporation and Kanai Ward belong to them now. They do as they please.
Which is not really a good thing for us at all.
They can overturn laws on a whim, which permitted bribes to be exchanged at a rampant pace.
Which makes sense, honestly, since they're not using them for good, their laws, so obviously bribes and money is being handed around like crazy in order to get things done around here in a not very good way.
This is why the city continues to erode away. So much so that this gloomy rain cannot wash it clean.
I thought the peacekeepers were like a police force, but they hold much more power than that.
Yeah, they're more like a military slash, I guess you could say royal military at that point, because they're basically at the tippity top at that point.
As their name suggests, in the beginning the peacekeepers were a single department that handled security.
That would make sense, yeah, the original name would fit that more with what you just said.
They changed and grew into the powerful organization they are today, because there was a need for it.
Huh.
After Kanai Ward's isolation, Amaterasu needed to become stronger and more ruthless to protect their secrets.
Which is fair if what Kurumi was saying about that immortal monster research that they were conducting.
Taking advantage of the corporation's supply routes, the peacekeepers began trading with the military industry.
Fair enough.
Wow, they sound like some dictatorship's army.
They really do.
Before anyone realized, they were the most powerful force around.
Huh.
I'm sure they saw everyone else as incompetent.
And by the fact that what we saw in the intro, they seem to be the only ones with actual, weapons. So, yeah, then nobody can really stand up to a company with, you know, actual weapons. Huh.
Which led them to believe that those with the power should rule.
And yeah, I guess that would end up being the case in that, with everything how it turned out.
The shadow that hangs over this city is none other than the threat of the peacekeepers.
Yeah, that definitely would add up.
Their tyranny continues to this day. They will never stop, even after they've gained control over everything.
Well, they're just gonna keep wanting more and more, so obviously it would never stop, since they can just control more of the world if they wanted to.
So that's the situation the city is enduring.
Yep, just complete and utter rule, pretty much, where nobody can ever stand up to them.
At this rate, Kanai Ward will continue to decay. More innocent civilians will fall victim to them.
Until there's pretty much no one left, I would think.
That's why I want to stop the peacekeepers on this reckless path of theirs. I do so as a citizen who loves Kanai Ward.
Well, that's good to hear, Makoto.
I need the help of people like you.
Really? Well, good to know.
Like me?
But you need us, really.
I mean detectives.
Okay. Well, we're the only one here, so, we can't really do much about that.
He needs detectives? Something about this sounds fishy.
Kind of, but he seems like he's got a good heart, I think.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, what exactly do you want us to do?
In Kanai Ward, the only ones that can stand up to the peacekeepers are outsiders like yourself.
Fair enough, I think.
That's why, in order to save this city, I need your cooperation.
Although he doesn't know about Kurumi, to be fair, because Kurumi can technically do stuff herself with her being an informant. So, and she gave us information we didn't know before.
Detectives are the only ones who can save this place. That is what I believe. But what about you?
Well, Yuma's starting to think of himself as not a detective because of his amnesia, so... in every chapter we feel like Yuma's breaking down over the course of the story so far, because he hasn't built himself up at all. He's just been knocking himself down after cases.
Save this city.
Well, Yuma, what do you want to do?
Chief Yakou also asked the same thing. If their goals are the same...
We can definitely align ourselves, at least, with Makoto here, for now until we can find anybody from our agency.
Oh, hold it right there, Master. You're gonna agree just like that?
Well, we can at least hear him out, at least.
But he's asking for my help as a detective. I have to respond.
Which is true. We could at least. He did show us mercy and, you know, took us out of the rain and gave us somewhere to not, you know, get sick and then, you know, be probably killed off by the peacekeepers if he didn't come and save us. So, honestly, we can at least do him a solid and hear him out, honestly.
Jeez, think about it for a sec.
We are thinking about it, Shinigami.
The way he's talking, he probably works for Amaterasu.
He said citizen, though.
In other words, you're not sticking your neck out for an impossible crime here. It's just a spat between adults.
Are you sure about that?
What do you think you can do about it?
We could do something. It sounds like he needs detectives for a reason to help him out.
But we should at least talk to him about it first.
Yeah, that makes the most sense to at least hear him out and see what he does need, because there could be more to it.
He's obviously taking advantage of you. You're so gullible.
We don't get money from anybody, Shinigami. There's no point in at least, you know, hearing him out and maybe taking a case if there is one.
Listen, detectives need to suspect others all the time. Besides, can you really trust anybody in a mask like that?
Well, can we trust a ghost that's been haunting us since the beginning of the story? We trusted you at the start, so honestly, we can give a little bit of trust to a guy in a mask. Because these technically would be just as scary as you would be, honestly, at this point.
He's not normal. Everything feels so ominous about this.
Fair enough for that part.
You're better off not associating with him. Trust me on this.
Well, he seems less scary than Yomi to me.
It's rare for you to be so absolutely against something.
Nah, that's not very rare. She was against Kurumi the entire time and she was wrong. So, honestly, it's best to make your own decision here, Makoto, or Yuma. I don't know why I want to call him Makoto.
And it's true. I don't know him enough to be sure if he's trustworthy.
Which is true.
Oh, this reminds me. Speaking of detectives, is number 1 in town as well?
Well, I guess he would know that name, to be fair, since he is the leader of the Master Detectives. But, we don't know where he is, to be fair.
Huh? Number 1?
I mean the guy at the top of the World Detective Organization. Things would go much faster if he were here.
I would think so.
Aww.
Huh.
Oh, you know about number 1?
Apparently so.
Huh? Don't you?
Well, we really don't remember anything, to be fair. Apparently we did cross paths with him, based on that memory we were given at the end of Chapter 2. So...
I've only heard of him recently. I don't know much about him.
Yeah, we really don't.
I see. Well, that's no surprise. He's a shut-in who rarely appears out in public.
Which is what we know. We know he's an older guy, though. We saw him for just a short bit in the prologue, but pretty much that's all we really know about him.
But if you get the chance to talk to him, please ask him to come visit soon.
We could try, although I don't think it's a good idea to bring him out here, based on the fact that it looks like he's working on something else, and it could be that great global mystery we've been hearing about.
Tell him his son is in trouble.
His son's in trouble? What are you talking about?
Son?
Yeah, what do you mean by son?
I'm joking.
Okay, I was about to say. Not really a joking matter, but okay.
Anyway, I've kept you here too long.
I guess so?
If you're looking for your missing friends, you better move fast.
Fast, you say?
That's right. I have to go look for everyone.
Yeah, we definitely should try and find everybody, but the thing is, we don't have any idea where they could be.
I need to get going. Thank you for saving me.
Yeah, thanks, Makoto. You're friendly, I think. Although you are mysterious, you definitely seem friendly.
No problem. Don't worry about it. But please, consider cooperating with me.
We'll think about it.
Right.
If we can learn a little bit more about you and know that we can trust you, then I think we can take you up on your offer.
Oh, also, I should ask you this while I'm here.
What do you want to ask me, Yuma?
Do you have any idea what Kanai Ward's ultimate secret could be?
Yeah, what do you think it is?
Or does the word homunculus sound familiar to you?
I'm not really sure we should have asked him that, but, he might know something. You never know. Ooh. I didn't like how he reacted to that information.
No, I have no idea. Sorry I couldn't be of help.
He acted really suspicious to that information.
I see.
Now, go on and look for your friends.
Well, thank you nonetheless, Makoto.
Right.
Although, that, like, blurt that we got when it said ... did not sound like, he didn't know nothing. He definitely knows something. He just doesn't want to give us that information, it looks like.
So that's my...
That's your what? Huh?
Is that it? I thought there would be more emotion involved.
What are you talking about? What? That's my what? That was strange. Well, off we go then, I guess. But that was,
Given how tall the building is, the elevator took forever to come down.
It definitely does look like a pretty big building. But, that guy is definitely, I don't know how to feel about him, honestly. I couldn't read him at all. It looked like he was telling us the truth, but also hiding things as well. Huh.
Since he lives on the top level of this tower, he can't be an ordinary person.
Yeah, it'd be impossible for him to be normal. Or just anybody. He's somebody, we just don't know exactly what he possibly is at that point. Because the thing is, well, he knows the Peacekeeper's director. Well, he seems to have a lot of money. He might be connected to Amaterasu in some way, because of the fact that he's at the top of the Kanai Ward Tower, but he might not be as well. Huh.
Makoto Kagutsuchi. Who is he?
Well, we do have an informant we can ask, so maybe Kurumi could maybe tell us that information. Although, is it safe to send her for that kind of information, though? Huh.
How is he connected to Amaterasu Corporation?
Honestly, that's the real question there, I think.
He brushed it off, but he's affiliated with them. He knows that dangerous Peacekeeper's director.
Although they're not friendly, though, so it kinda makes me think that's not the case.
Not to mention, he knew an awful lot about the internal workings of the corporation.
Seemingly, yeah.
He talked about saving the city, but is he on our side? Or could he be...
That is a good question. We really don't know.
Either way, you're better off not getting involved. Let sleeping gods lie, as they say.
Wouldn't you be a sleeping god? Because we opened your book and we awoke you? So, I don't think you should be the one saying that.
Are you sure you're one to say that?
Thank you, Yuma.
Oh, you're right!
Thank you for finally giving one back to her, because it's fair. She shouldn't be the one to be saying that.
Anyway, I'm worried about Chief Yakou. Let's go back to where the detective agency was at the riverbank.
They're definitely not there, I would think. With the fact that the Peacekeepers had cameras there, probably not the smartest idea. Although that was in third person, to be fair. Honestly, good question. What about you? What do you know about this place? It seems there was an explosion near the riverbank recently.
Oh!
Can you tell me more? I would, but I don't have any other information. It sounds dangerous, so I haven't gone there myself. I see. I'm sorry, I can't help. Well, at least there was something about that. Also, you're kind of wearing Halara's pants, but it's the other way around. But honestly, I guess it's time to head over to the riverbank then. Looks like we're going to the Ginma district, though. Based on the pathway we have here. But at least we got something out of that. Although we didn't really learn much about Makoto, though. Because, you know, he did kind of end our chapter for Chapter 2. Leaving us with a lot of questions, and now I even have a lot more questions about who he could possibly be after meeting him. Can we open the map, though? Nope, we can't walk to the riverbank, or, well, we can't teleport to the riverbank. But, we do have a profile update here, it looks like. Where is he, though? It put him under Mataratsu, though. So he is connected to a Mataratsu, then. Or at least somewhat affiliated, due to the fact that he's inside the area where Yomi, Martina, Seth, and Swank are. Although I think that could be a red herring, maybe, because we just don't know. Well, let's see. Well, we know his birthday, apparently. But, just the title, The Suspicious Masked Man, and his talent is the Cat's Cradle. What does that mean? So, Makoto Kagetsuchi, the enigmatic masked man that lives on top of the Kanai Tower. His tendency to speak in riddles makes it difficult to ascertain his true nature, but he seems to have ulterior motives. Maybe. But, honestly, other than that, there is not really much to go off of there. Huh. We do have, more requests available, though. One near the clock tower and one near Ethereal Academy. Interesting. Looks like it's right at the front gate there. And then we also have the one at the clock tower being just in front. Okay. But it looks like we're going to the Kamasaki district? Although, what would we be... No, that I think that's just the... Yeah, to the riverbank. Okay. Weird that we can't just teleport there, though. Well, I guess off to the riverbank we go, then. Since it looks like it wants us to make our way all the way back. Although that's quite a walk there, though, to be fair. But, well, maybe there's a reason for it. Do you have anything about what happened at the riverbank? I heard there was an explosion at the riverbank, but the Peacekeepers took care of it right away. Could you give me any more details about the explosion? I believe there were multiple explosions, but the tunnel connecting to Kamasaki seems okay. Really? Maybe the explosions were smaller than we thought. The path isn't closed anymore, so why not go take a look if you're interested?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. That means everyone at the agency should be safe. Yeah, seemingly. But, I don't think they would go back to the riverbank after the fact that they blew us out of the water of the riverbank, to be completely fair. I really don't think that would be a good idea. So, Yuma, I think this probably is not the smartest idea to do. Because, one, it could get eyes on us, since they know what we look like. But the normal peacekeepers technically wouldn't, I guess. It's more of the high-ranking officials that would, and there's only seemingly one left, for what we know. Wait a minute.
Hey!
That... Isn't that the person that we saw get off the train? I'm pretty sure that was, and also I noticed one thing about them. They're wearing a detective pin. Huh. We still don't know who that is, though.
He ran away when he saw me the other time, too.
Yeah, same person as before.
Maybe you did something?
I don't know.
I don't think so. He's a complete stranger.
He definitely is, but with the fact that he has a detective pin, it is interesting, because I didn't notice that before.
You sure you don't need to hurry to the riverbank? You might find Fuzzhead's corpse, and then some.
Maybe, but I don't want to find that, to be fair.
No, that's not true. Don't say ominous stuff like that.
I like how they're just breakdancing in front of us.
Who was that? And why did they run when they saw me?
Who cares? It's not like you're gonna figure it out by standing around here thinking about it.
Fair enough.
Shouldn't you be worried about Fuzzhead and the others?
Honestly, I'm more worried about them now.
I have to get to the agency.
But yeah, definitely to the riverbank we go. Are we available to go anywhere now? No, we still can't go straight to the riverbank. So there could be still something in between us and where we're going. Although it could just be Shinigami talking, to be fair. But yeah, let's definitely head over to the riverbank and hopefully find anything to hopefully find our friends. Although I doubt we'd find much. And hopefully we don't find anybody missing either. But yep, there's the submarine. It's in pieces.
It's terrible. The agency is completely blown to pieces.
Yep. And just after we cleaned it too, because we cleaned it in Chapter 2, didn't we? That's not good.
I thought I found a place I could call home.
It really wasn't a home, but I'm gonna be fair.
I don't smell any corpses. I thought there'd be some around here.
Well, that's good if you can't smell anything, because that intro did show someone drowning in the ocean. So, or the riverbank, because it's a riverbank, so it would be a river. But, I like that you're not smelling anything. Okay, good.
Of course not! Everyone is still alive! Master detectives wouldn't die so easily.
Honestly, I would think so, but we don't know if they're safe.
You say that, but didn't they all die on the Amaterasu Express?
They did, and very easily, in fact. They literally got poisoned, well, put to sleep by coffee and tea, or wine. Well, it could be coffee, tea, and wine, to be fair. But, yeah, the coffee bar was literally used to just get rid of everybody pretty much instantly.
That's...
It's true, Yuma. You can't go against that one.
Uh-huh.
What the...
Oh, man!
Hi? We're getting dragged off by an elf. That guy's got pointy ears. But, well, we got kidnapped. Well, not the first time, honestly. We did get... I guess you could say that with Makoto there, too, but that didn't look like in a good way, whatsoever. Huh. Weird, though. Very, very weird. Oh, Shinigami's trying to wake us up, I think.
Master!
Hey, Shinigami, where are we?
Huh?
What the? It looks like we're underneath Kawasaki District. Or Kamasaki District. Based on the spray paint behind us, but I'm not so sure.
Where am I?
Honestly, no clue, Yuma.
You're finally awake!
Wait, how come you weren't asleep?
Well, I also just woke up. When you go to sleep, so do I.
That's what you were saying earlier, so I was confused that you were somehow awake, based on you being the one to wake up there. So we were gonna wake up anyways around there then.
Because we're one and the same!
Yeah, you did say that at the end of Chapter 2. it took you a while to completely sync to us.
I remember I was suddenly thrown into a car and...
kidnapped to wherever we are now.
I think you let your guard down too much. How many times are you gonna let yourself get knocked unconscious?
Probably more times than you think, bud.
I can't help it. This city is so weird.
True. True.
Why does this keep happening to me?
Honestly, it seems like the hand of death is always following us, which, that is something that Vivia said. So somebody that, you know, is, I guess, followed by that would, well, seemingly get tossed right into the middle of it constantly.
Who would do such a thing to you? And for what reason?
Honestly, good question.
Could it be the Peacekeepers?
I don't think they were peacekeepers.
Look around. It's so dirty here.
That too. That is definitely true. I would think they would be in a much cleaner place with them being as, like, high-tech and taking over Amaterasu and everything.
If it's the Peacekeepers, they'd probably be sitting on reclining chairs with their feet up in a tidy room.
There's that symbol that was shown at the start of the chapter, the fist. Although, well, we did see people fighting the Peacekeepers.
But if it isn't the Peacekeepers, then who?
Yeah, the intro did show people fighting Peacekeepers, but it says battle something. So, rebellion of sorts? Maybe? That's usually what a fist going towards the air would mean. But, are they on our side? I'm not really sure.
We can worry about it later. First, we have to get out of here.
It would be a start.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, let's get out of here, Shinigami. Or at least figure out what's going on, at least.
Where am I? Anyway, I'd better find a way out of here.
Let's see what the map says. Oh, we can't look at the map. Oh. What about the couch? It's a worn-out sofa covered in dust.
Come on.
Oh, absolutely filthy, aren't you, Master?
Why direct that at me? Yeah, that's not really our fault. Anything else in this room? There's something over here.
There's another one, Master.
Another what? What are you talking about? Are you talking about because this was in... There was an event in Chapter 1? Oh, we got a poster here. I think I've seen these posters in Kamasaki District 2. Just who's been putting them up?
They all look kinda samey. If you want to grasp people's attention, you gotta mix it up design-wise.
Who do you think these posters are for, Shinigami? Yeah, what about the vent?
There's a vent here, but it's too small to pass through.
Well, we're definitely not going through there, then. But at least we noticed that, though. Other than that, anything else in here that we can look at? There's another poster. Let's see what this one says.
Slapping so many posters up in such a tiny room. It's like they're trying to brainwash people. Be careful, Master. People like you are susceptible to that sort of thing.
I'm not that simple. I beg to differ sometimes, but you were a little bit more than simple. Outside of some things, to be fair. But, let's try the door. Although I doubt we're gonna just walk through.
Seems like it's locked with a padlock or something from the outside.
That's not good. Why are we locked in here?
Why do they even want to imprison me?
Honestly, good question, Yuma.
The floor and the walls don't seem fragile enough to break. And there's no way out through the ceiling either.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem that way. So we're just trapped, I guess.
Looks like you're stuck in here.
I guess so. We don't have food either.
No point feeling gloomy about it. Just enjoy it while you can.
We're gonna starve to death in here, Shinigami. I don't think you would want that.
Woohoo! It's so fun! It's like we're frolicking through the sunlit grass in spring.
Uh-huh, yeah, definitely, Shinigami.
It's hopeless. We're completely stuck.
Yep, we definitely are.
It's just like everything in my life right now. I'm trapped with no way out.
I guess that is a way to think of it.
Master looks so lonely right now. It's like he's given up on everything.
Can you open the padlock, please?
Hey! Can I give you a back tattoo that says, "My life is over"?
Not helping the situation, Shinigami.
Sorry, but I'm not really in the mood for your antics right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Yuma.
What's got you so down anyway? It's not like you had anything to lose in the first place.
Uh-huh, yeah, sure.
Besides me, that is.
Well, it looks like Yuma wants nothing to do with you, so, I think you should probably change your tune, Shinigami.
Aw, my life's been a mess ever since you started haunting me.
Fair enough, but we don't know what his life was beforehand, to be fair.
Shinigami? What about those other detectives?
Yeah, what about them?
What do you mean?
You said you've haunted other detectives in the past.
True, she did say that, but I don't think she would tell us that information, since she didn't seem like she wanted to give us that stuff earlier.
They all gave up their memories, right? Were they able to achieve their goals using the power you gave them?
Yeah, what did they do with your power?
I don't really remember the past. I'm the kind who forgets what happened yesterday.
Yeah, I think you're lying to me.
Oh, but there is one detective I distinctly remember.
Somebody else you remember? Really?
He always liked to say this one thing.
One thing, you say?
I want to eradicate all unsolved mysteries from this world and bring happiness to everyone.
Bring happiness to everyone, you say?
Huh?
That's not the motto of the detective agency. Really?
I want to make a world where no one weeps while imprisoned by unsolved mysteries.
Really?
He said that with such sparkling eyes that I laughed out loud.
Huh.
It still makes me laugh, as if a single detective could do that.
Interesting, though, that someone like that would call upon the power of a Shinigami, or, well, the Shinigami in this game. Because Shinigami in, like, stuff like Death Note, there's multiple of them, but in this instance, it looks like Shinigami is a single entity, so that's why we can just call her Shinigami. But, huh. Interesting, though. They thought they could do that using her power. Really?
Imprisoned by unsolved mysteries.
Yeah, definitely so.
Like the Watchmaker's son. Or Kurumi.
We saved both of them, to be fair.
If those cases remained unsolved, would they have suffered the same fate?
The kid would have lost his dad, and Kurumi would have died. If we didn't step in, they would have been done for.
So you didn't answer me. What about that detective? Was he able to bring happiness to everyone?
I doubt it based on how she was saying, how she was reacting to that. But, the part about Kurumi, if we would have appeared a day beforehand, Karen might not have died. I'm gonna be honest, I do think there could have been a change there, if we were to show up a day earlier. I thought about that, because the thing is Karen died the day of when we went. So if we showed up a day earlier, Karen would have got arrested if we found out the information in time about what had happened, because we would have been able to bring Halara there, because there was no peacekeeper stopping us from leaving the school, and we probably would have easily been able to figure out that Karen was the killer before Waruna, Kurune, and Yoshiko ended up passing away at the end of Chapter 2. Because, well, they ended up being the criminal. So, But yeah, what about that detective, though?
I don't know. Besides, I don't remember much.
You said you strictly remember that, though. You'd think you would know at least a little bit more about him.
But if you look at how the world is right now, isn't the answer obvious?
Fair enough, but this is just Kanai Ward, to be fair.
I guess.
This is just one place and not the whole world.
There's no way detectives could make people all over the world happy.
Fair enough, but this place was closed off 5 years ago. So, who knows? We just got the book. Could have been... Who knows how long ago she met that person. It could have been recent, it could have been long ago.
Even in Kanai Ward alone, the number of unsolved mysteries keeps increasing.
Which is true. But still, though, it's still nothing but like adding up mysteries to everything, though, because of that.
What can detectives even do?
Well, they're doing something. They're solving them one by one, but it seems like twice as many mysteries pop up for every case a detective solves.
Detectives are useless.
Not really. It seems like we're doing something.
I'm useless.
No, Yuma, you aren't. You're far from that.
Huh?
Master, someone's coming!
Don't come any closer, please. You are a big dude. Friendly? With a big old question mark?
Oh, you're awake.
Oh.
Sorry for getting rough with you. It was necessary at the time. Forgive me.
Thank you, I guess. You seem friendly.
Well, don't we have quite the character here?
He's big, buff, and he seems like he's a friendly dude. Seems like we're good here. Although, interesting that they had to kidnap us, but honestly, like I said, going to the riverbank was a really stupid idea, with the fact that the peacekeepers would be probably still kind of all over that place. We got lucky that, technically, if these guys are good guys, that they came at the right time, because, let's be honest here, peacekeepers could have been on top of us any moment, if they are still around there.
Who are you?
Yeah, but who are you?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked.
You are? Well, that's good.
Consider this. Have you seen a child crying on a street corner? How about a kid wandering with no place to go?
A lot of them.
We're a group of volunteers who shed blood so people like that don't have to shed tears.
Really? Well, that's good to hear.
That's right. We're the proud resistance against Amaterasu Corporation.
Well, it seems like we can definitely feel good to be around here then. I don't mind standing... So these guys are a rebellion then. So I was right on the poster, but it's kind of obvious with posters like that, because they're in a lot of games and shows and real life, honestly. So, honestly, cool. Although not all resistances are good in some video games. Far Cry 4's one, specifically, I ended up feeling like, ended up becoming the bad guys in the end in that game, to be fair. From, just how it ended up being. Nobody was a good guy there. Pagan Min or the Resistances, because there was two of them. But, well, maybe we can trust these guys, maybe. Never know. Seems like they're doing good.
Resistance?
And I'm the head honcho. The name's Shachi. Nice to meet you.
Oh, you're their leader. Okay, well if the leader's coming to see us, then they have enough trust that... Okay, cool. Okay, nice to meet you, Shachi, of the leader of the Resistance.
This reminds me, I've seen the flyers all over Kanai Ward.
I didn't even notice them, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, passing out flyers is an important part of our activity. We need to recruit as many people as possible.
Honestly, pretty noble ideal, for sure.
Though once we're finally caught by the peacekeepers, we'll probably all hang.
Yeah, I could see that, with how the peacekeepers are. Although it's not really something to laugh about, to be fair.
But what does the Resistance want with me?
Well, we're a detective. Honestly, I think they want our help, it seems.
First, let me apologize for not being able to bring you here in a more graceful way.
It's fine. Honestly, thinking of it like outside a character is probably the safest thing for them to do it that way. Get us out as quick as possible, so nothing could happen to us.
But if I didn't do it this way, you couldn't stay hidden from the peacekeepers.
Which is true.
Why did you go to such lengths to see me?
Yeah, why exactly are you looking for seemingly detectives?
Allow me to explain.
Okay.
Please, would you join us at our hideout? I want you to have a little chat with my friends.
We could do that.
A hideout?
But, apparently, I guess this isn't connected to their hideout then.
Don't worry, they're all good guys.
Well, sounds good to me then.
Come on,
what about you, Yuma?
follow me.
He seems more trustworthy than, that Makoto guy from, how he reacted to us saying Kanai Ward's ultimate secret in Homunculus. I still don't think we should have told him that outright. But, honestly, he could still be a good guy. You never know. We don't know for sure. But yeah, we can follow you, bud. Huh.
Seems like I'm being dragged into even more trouble.
No, I think this might be some good trouble for once.
It doesn't look like you have a choice right now, anyway.
Seemingly not, but, honestly, we might as well just take what we can get.
At least he's the type of guy who's kind to a lost kid.
Which is true.
I'm not a kid.
You kind of are, Yuma, I'm gonna be honest. But, although not like a young kid, you're at least a high schooler. Which is still counted as a kid, to be fair, or young adult.
Is it really okay to follow him?
I would think so.
Stop being so indecisive.
But honestly, I'm gonna save before walking through that door, but, we're not gonna follow him in the end of today's episode, though. We are gonna definitely do a quick save, though. Just in case. Wait a minute. Ooh. Fubuki pops up as the save for this one. Really? So this is either Fubuki's chapter, or Fubuki is just the save for it. Who knows? But it seems like that way. Oh, okay. Well, honestly, I would like to see if we can look outside the room real quick. Just curious where we are. Looks like we're underground. Or maybe not. This could be an apartment building of sorts. But interesting, dark, sad place, honestly. But honestly, cool. The whole rebellion thing definitely adds up to what we saw in the intro for this chapter, so at least we got a little bit more information about what was going on with what looked like the rebellion and the peacekeepers fighting each other. So they're 100% against each other. No information really about Makoto, although they seem to be on friendly and not friendly stance with everything to do with the peacekeepers. He seems to be stood against them. Could be part of Amaterasu, could not be, but we don't know. But honestly, with that being said, thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. And honestly, in the next episode, we will be continuing our path into Chapter 3 here. And hey, that was a reference to Death Note there. I just noticed that from Shinigami. But yeah, with that being said, keep being spooky, have a wonderful rest of your day, keep being spooky, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.